Hello, happy Wednesday. You are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larissa Vakulina. I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time zone. And here on the Heart of Success show, I talk about success in all forms, not only success that we accumulate in the form of the wealth or positions or the favors. I talk here about success in a deeper sense, success in how we can create a fulfilled life, how we can be healthy, happy, joyful, how we can create meaningful relationships, and how we can actually live our purpose. So today I am going to talk about an inner state, which is from where we create. And there's, of course, many different places within ourselves that we kind of serve. So my question is like, whom do you serve? So I'm going to share with you my own experiences from my own life and my own process, how I catch myself all the time on the different states and whom do I serve in the moment, and how it affect or influence my creation, my last result of my projects or my manifestations, or how my ideas come into the reality. So what I noticed is that when I am fully present in the moment now, I feel like this is the connection to my purpose. This is the connection to my creative, pure energy and creative divinity, that I am absolutely kind of surrender to it, and it is such a creative place where when we allow that to happen and be in that moment, it actually flows, and all the creation goes from that place unobstructedly. So it's like that expression of the pure idea, and the idea that is connected deeply to our center and to our purpose is that what creates a very desirable outcome and a desirable result. But what I actually found is that when we're not in the presence, we're not in the moment now, which means we are in defense, well, then we're not connected to that purposeful place within ourselves. We're not having this flow that is absolutely free flowing. So we have this abstracted flow of our creative thoughts or energies, and of course our last result of this abstracted flow of energy is always distorted, incomplete, or possibly never ever become a reality of what we actually wanted. Because what happened is that it's like when we're in defense, we almost start freezing the time that is stopping or avoiding something to happen. See, it's like when we're in defense, we freezing the time that is obstructing or avoiding the expression of what we want not come into the reality. So basically, when we are in a moment now and when we connected to that purpose, we serve that divine place within ourselves, that ultimate you who is always powerful, who is always good, who is always profoundly creative. When we not in a moment, we serve the illusion that we need to have a defense or a protection. So we serve the illusion and the fear. So it's always that inability to be in a moment now is based on the fear and self-doubt. So and also distrust. So there's a fear, distrust, doubt that is the foundation for us not being able to be in the moment. So I just would like to share with you a few of my own personal experiences, starting back when I actually was dreaming about my land. and I didn't know at all what for and why I needed, and I had no knowing at all. But that desire, that center, that was guiding me to this to this direction was absolutely sure. It was the belief that I'm good and that life is good, and if that is sitting within me deeply and nagging by sending this kind of inner voice all the time, it must be good. So I had that belief all the time, and I didn't know and had no idea how how to do it, what to do it, how to manage the land that I was so strongly desired for. Let me have a little bit of water. So, and back then, I remember the time where when I actually purchased the land, I found myself in such a very fearful place where I, on one side, was really trusting this purposeful, very powerful place of even unknowing, but believing that this has to be true. And then another place is like, what have I done? How can I manage 89 acres of land? What have I done? I've never been living on a big pieces of land before, and I just felt the weight of the responsibility, that I was so overwhelmed with these feelings, and I was not I was juggling between this all knowing that that if we created by God or by divine intelligence, then we must be powerful. I didn't believe that we are so limited or fearful or doubtful. I just had that knowing within myself. But at the same time, that other part of me was scared to actually accept that what I wanted came to my life, and it's just landed in my lap, and I didn't know what to do. So the journey continues, and I catching myself constantly in one side of it or another side of it. But what I actually try to say to you here is that I'm learning, and I'm catching myself more on the side of like, I know, I believe in myself, and I know that I'm good, and I know that life is good, that it is benign. The universe is actually not having any any negative agenda for us, on not any tests that we not created ourselves. So when we're not in a moment, when we're not in a now, and when we actually living, creating, acting, doing, working from the place of that abstracted, not purposeful center of ourselves. Of course, we create the tests and negative, distracted learning cycles that are actually healing cycles. So through this journey of constantly trying to develop our own awareness and know where are we at and whom do we serve in the moment. Do we serve that divine self, or do we serve the illusion of not divine, not who we are, right? It's like we kind of juggling between all of this moment by moment by moment. And if we become aware, we can start to do the conscious choice, and we can actually consciously decide, whom do I serve in the moment? Do I live my life? Do I make my project? Do I work from the place of that connection to my center, to that divine place, to this absolutely amazing creative power that doesn't have any abstraction, that if you had any ideas, it's going to be created that way? Or from that place of a little doubt, misunderstanding, little distrusting yourself, and all of this doubtful self, that of course gonna to then abstract that original idea and make it not complete, make it not the way you want it, the desirable outcome not gonna be achieved. Sometimes, many times, that it's not going to actually come into reality at all. So we can consciously start to understand this process, and we can control it consciously. And we don't need then to create our learning or healing cycles in a negative or painful way. So we would understand the process from the beginning to the end of our creation, and then there is no need for us to create it in a painful way to actually experience and learn from it, right? So another things I was just thinking about from my own life, when I actually was I created a very, very deep crisis in my life, and I created the disease and disbalance in my physical body from the place of that disconnection from my purpose. And when I actually was in a space of not knowing, again, not knowing. So we never know. And I was trusting, because that cancer that I created taught me so much. My perspective dramatically changed forever. So, and when I actually create the cancer, I straight away after the diagnosis, I knew again, I was referring back again to that powerful beings that we are. And I sit with myself and ask myself, I just don't believe that God can create us so limited. I don't believe that God can create us so that we just don't know what to do with what we're creating. That's just not true. This is a lie that we have all of these experts and specialists and all of this research is done, and scientists telling us that this is not like this and this is not the way it is. Well, I knew within myself when I was sitting in a deep crisis that if I created it myself, I have the power to recreate it again in a holistic way towards that harmony and wellness again and health. So I did. And I'm still going every day through these experiences, every minute of my life. Well, the last one was just before I put out my offer for the From Overwhelmed to Balance workshop. And I was excited to go through the process of creating it. And it was so amazing and it was so fun, because I was completely connected to that purpose and the intention to serve the other and show them that they too can connect to their purposeful place. So I was in such a flow of things, and I didn't even notice how all this creation come into the reality. But then what happened is that the more closer I would come to the date of my first live workshop, the more I start to feel discomfort of this event coming up, and discomfort of seeing myself, the pressure of doing it, right? And I momentarily found myself, and momentarily I caught myself in that thought. And the thought was, I just believe that maybe, I just wish that maybe there is some kind of excuse that can, can be there, that I can cancel or postpone my workshop. Can you imagine that? That was just like just a moment of catching yourself on that negative thought, and you know what? Immediately, the body took this thought as an instruction, and it started to create me losing my voice, right? So that's how quickly we in our physical form, following our emotional, psychological, spiritual, our unconscious thoughts, and become so quickly to actually creating what the unconscious thought is doing. But because I'm so aware, I caught myself on thinking like that, wanting very quickly to recreate this thought but the body already caught the program and caught the instruction, right? So that's how quickly we can we can limit and minimize what we actually doing and how we doing it, what we created. That's how quickly, if we allow our mind wander and have these doubtful and very limited thoughts and very criticizing and self-judging feelings about ourselves, the body will have this other instruction and it will create something that you eventually have the possibility to have the big excuse, right? So that's what I'm constantly working on, like knowing exactly what place within myself I'm living and I'm creating, and whom do I serve in that moment, in that particular moment. And I know we don't know how to sit in that moment, right? But we're learning how to be in that moment. Even if we sit in not really flattering feelings or not really a positive and good, emotional state, we still have to accept that. Because if we denying or rejecting these parts of ourselves and only accepting the good ones, the pleasurable ones, the ideal ones, the high performance ones, well, we never ever actually in and now. We constantly in that defensive state that is obstructing the flow of your purposeful you, the you that is ultimate powerful creator of your life. So today I just want to share with you like 3 points from what I was talking to you, because I still have a little bit of problem with my throat, which is absolutely better because my last live workshop that I did on Monday, Tuesday, I already start to feel much better. It's almost like, that instruction that was given unconsciously a few days before is subsided now, and the body start to recover, and there's no anymore any reasons or excuses to actually postpone it or cancel it. So I just would like to invite you to consider and implement in your life 3 points of how you can connect to that divine place within yourself and start to serve that place rather than keep going into that illusion of needing the protection and defense because you have this sense of unknowing. So the first one is you need to start to really fully trust yourself and believe that you are good and powerful. This is really a very important and powerful. Once we start to reprogram and retrain our mind and shift from these places of the illusion of creating excuses, creating doubts, creating fears, and retrain that mind and shift it, and just know every moment of your life, just choose that you are powerful and you believe in yourself and you believe in good in your life. Well, then you start to reprogram it, you start to recreate your unconscious space for effortless connection to that divine spark within yourself, that divine creative power that you constantly using because you constantly creating. If you're aware on it or not, if you know it or not, you creating every minute of your life. So if you serve that illusion of fear, you create it with abstraction, distortively, not what you want, or maybe sometimes never create what you want. But if you serve that divine place, well, then eventually you're gonna to start to feel it as a flow of absolutely effortless doing and being, right? The second point is that learn to stay in the now. This is very important. And to stay in now is accept yourself in whatever and whenever you are at. Even if you don't like where you at, You just accept it and say, I'm only human and I'm learning. And if I'm sitting here right now in the place where I don't like to be, I'm still there and I accept it. And I have intention to move myself into where I want to be, right? So the third point is that you need to choose moment to moment. Once you find yourself in that moment of not really wanting to be in a place that you maybe don't like, maybe it's painful, maybe it is distorted, maybe it's judgmental, you need to choose to move yourself from that place of illusion, to keep protecting yourself into the place of the divinity, into the place of that powerful, purposeful center of yourself that knows everything, that supports you, that always there for you to utilize, right? So the choice is yours, the life is yours. And today I just would like to close on this because my voice is keep being a little challenged, and I just need to take care of it until next Wednesday. I hope everything will be fine. I'm feeling good, but the voice is not. So, and I also would like to consider that possibly you would like to have also a recorded copy of my workshop that I run, from overwhelm to balance and peace. If you're interested in that, just reach out to me and we can organize that. And for now, I would like to say thank you for everyone who's been here with me. MJ, my favorite person that supports me all the time, and she had a few comments here. Our mind and thoughts are very powerful. I mean, I am experiencing it over and over again. If a few years ago I just didn't have the ability to see it fully, or maybe to have it fully in awareness of how this process is actually working together. But now I exactly know, because I'm catching myself all the time, minute by minute. And once I just catch myself that I know I'm gonna to do it, I know I'm gonna to achieve what I plan to do, I have my goal, and that goal is absolutely fully achievable and more. So when I believe in that and put myself in that space, this is just no doubt, you go and you flow through that. So thank you. I'm gonna to take care of my throat as much as I did already for all of these days. But as I explained, I think that was really connected to my emotions of momentarily and fragmentally to have the fear and to have the doubts about if I can run my life workshop. So go and choose in your life what you're going to serve, your divinity or your illusion of neediness for protection and defenses. Thank you so much. Intentions, absolutely. It all sits in intentions. When we believe that we're good, that the life is good, we have positive and life supporting intentions. Once we fall into this place of doubt and fear, we fall down into the negative intention. But all of these processes can be so hidden from us because they unconscious. And that's what it is important, to start to dive deeper into ourselves and start to explore and examine all of our behaviors and choices, from which place we do it. And it seems like it is hard, and it seems like it is such a task that, again, you create resistance, and you create your fear of going there. It only seems like it is hard. It sits very, very close to our conscious mind. It is really just a little edge that is from unconscious to the conscious. And once you know how to do it, and once you experience it once, then you have the reference and you will do it over and over and over again. And then voila, you have that sense within yourself that will serve you all the time to monitor and know where you at and whom you serve in the moment. Okay, thank you so much. Go and love yourself. And I love you very much. And I'll see you next week. Let me put that a little bit of music and goodbye.